LDWMMAC. There's your boy, the Coach, live on the Coach's Show, Live. Okay, guys, I'm here to give my afterthoughts on Karolina Kowalkiewicz. And the question is Karolina Kowalkiewicz back? Guys, please forgive the background noise. Of course, I'm in transition, and I promise y'all that I am going to be giving you guys consistent content. I know I've kind of fallen by the wayside, but folks, I'm gonna make myself put the content out the way that I used to, and that's a promise. And I apologize to everybody. Okay, guys, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, is she back? The long-term answer for me is no, she's not. Short-term, yes. Karolina Kowalkiewicz is back, depending upon who she's facing. Silvana Gomez. I mean, this is not a top 5 opponent. She's not even a top 10 opponent. She's not a top 15 opponent. Okay? She's just not an opponent that you can look at and be like, hey, this opponent is going to, give me a test. Because let's just be honest, okay? Karolina Kowalkiewicz has had some very, very brutal losses. The most brutal loss of her career was when she lost to Jessica Andrade. And I think that single loss in Karolina Kowalkiewicz's career, I think that's the loss that started the downward snowball effect of Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I've always had a lot of deep admiration for Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I just always thought that stylistically, she was going to be a puncher's dream, stylistically. Because, Karolina Kowalkiewicz is trained in Krav Maga. Okay, that's her number one discipline. Krav Maga, they teach you, basically how to use the environment to help you in a fight. Well, in an octagon, the only environment that you have is the octagon cage and the octagon itself. It's going to be a difficult thing for Karolina Kowalkiewicz to get back to where she was. It just is. Stylistically, she does a lot of things that's just technically incorrect. And low-tier fighters, they're going to have a difficult time because Karolina Kowalkiewicz, even though she's not defensively sound, she's still better than the Silvana Gomez's of the world. And she's going to beat the Silvana Gomez's of the world. She'll beat those people. But when you get into the Jessica Andrades, hell, when you get into the Marina Rodriguez's, when you get into those type fighters, Karolina Kowalkiewicz stylistically is going to play right into their hands. She's going to do it. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, she's the type of fighter that she's going to come first. She's going to come first with her chin in the air, and that's food for Jessica Andrade. Okay, I'm sorry, Jessica Andrade is no longer in the division. I'm sorry. That's food for a Marina Rodriguez. That's food for somebody like an Amanda Lemos. Okay, that's food for those type fighters. And Karolina Kowalkiewicz, although she did enough to beat Silvana Gomez, she defeated Gomez. The thing of it is, has Karolina Kowalkiewicz actually changed how she fights? Has she made any adjustments? Because you would think after she was knocked out by Jessica Andrade, I'm talking about knocked out cold, that she would learn how to be defensive, learn how to move her head. This is the same Karolina Kowalkiewicz that I've always watched. It's the same Karolina. And unfortunately, this version of Karolina, people know how to beat this version of Karolina. 7 people can attest to that. 7 fighters on her resume can attest to that. Is Karolina Kowalkiewicz, in my opinion, is she ever going to be back to who she was? No. That knockout, that one single knockout, altered the course of history for Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Altered the course of history. And also, moreover, she's dealing with Father Time. She's dealing with Father Time. She's dealing with the remnants of that knockout. But she's dealing with Father Time himself. And Father Time can't be beaten. So you guys wonder, can Karolina come back? She can. She can. But does Karolina have enough time to learn what she needs to know before Father Time sets in? And my answer to that is no. Karolina can come back, but she's not going to be disciplined enough to come back the way she needs to come back. She's not disciplined enough to go learn the stuff that she needs to learn. That's the problem with Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I mean, she's an entertaining fighter, nonetheless. But eventually, if she continues to win against the Silvana Gomez's of the world, and if Karolina Kowalkiewicz actually attempts to fight a top 10 opponent, well, she's probably going to get knocked out again. And this time, for good. Happy retirement, Karolina. Your time's almost up.